Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by hills and rivers, there lived an old woman who was known for her kindness, wisdom, and peaceful smile. No matter what happened around her, she always seemed happy. The villagers admired her deeply and often came to her for advice or simply to sit with her and feel at peace. One afternoon, a young man from the village came to visit her. He had been feeling troubled and couldn't hold back his questions. "Why are you always happy?" he asked. "Don't you ever feel sad or upset? Even when things go wrong, you always seem calm. How do you do it?" The old woman looked at him gently and invited him to sit beside her. She waited a moment, then spoke softly. "Let me tell you a story. When I was young, I had a family, a husband and children. We didn't have much, but we had love, and that made us happy. One day, my husband became very ill. We didn't have enough money for the medicine he needed. We did all we could, but in the end, he passed away." Her voice became quiet, filled with memory. "I was heartbroken. I cried for many days and nights. I thought I would never smile again. But then I looked at my children, and I realized they still needed me. I had to keep going, for them and for myself." The young man listened carefully, his expression thoughtful. "Over time," she continued, "I began to understand something important. Life will always have good days and bad days. We can't control everything that happens, but we can choose how we respond. But how can someone be happy when terrible things happen?" he asked. She smiled kindly. "It isn't easy, but every morning I wake up and say to myself, today is a new day. I will find something to be thankful for. It could be something small, a sunny sky, a blooming flower, the laughter of a child. There is always something." "And when things are really hard," he asked again, "I remind myself, this pain too will pass. Nothing lasts forever, not even sorrow. I don't ignore the bad moments, but I don't let them steal the good ones either. I focus on what I still have, my health, my memories, my breath, the people who care. That's where happiness lives." She looked at him with kind, steady eyes. Happiness is a choice. You can choose to focus on what's missing, or you can choose to see what's still beautiful. It's not always easy, but it is always possible. The young man sat silently, letting her words settle in his heart. Then he smiled and said, "Thank you. I think I understand now." From that day forward, he tried to live differently. He looked for the good in every situation, no matter how small. Even when life was difficult, he remembered her words, and slowly, he began to feel more peaceful. As time passed, her story spread through the village. People began to realize that and so grew more joyful, more kind. All because one wise woman shared the simple, powerful secret of happiness. Life can be tough, but the right story can change everything. On my YouTube channel, I share inspirational stories that touch your heart, awaken your strength, and remind you that every struggle has a purpose.